The high plains of Texas have never had much use for big cities. Just ask the North American bison, whose millions of ancestors roamed these wide-open spaces. He'll tell you it's overcrowded enough out here. There's already noise, trouble finding a place to eat, and even traffic jams.
This is the home of the official bison herd of the state of Texas. We have a semi-free ranging herd where when you drive into the gate, you're in the bison range. You know, you may have to stop and wait for them to cross the road. It's a Yellowstone type experience.
No, that's not a talking bison. It's Donald Beard, superintendent of Caprock Canyon State Park. When he took over this remote outpost a couple of years back, his first task was to increase the size of this historic herd.
These bison were started by Charles Goodnight in 1878, right here in these canyons. They rounded up a few and started this herd in these canyons between here and Paladura. They stayed in these canyons this whole time. That's what makes them unique. These are true Texas bison.
Now the Goodnight Herd has tripled in size up to 90 head. They're free to wander throughout much of this state park, enjoying stunning views of the Caprock. But it's not meant just for bison. Donald couldn't wait to show us humans the gorgeous scenery they've been looking at. How much of this do y'all own here?
Well, the people of Texas own it. I mean, we're just the caretakers. Texas Parks and Wildlife manages this property, but all of these canyons here, 15,000 acres total, is part of this park and owned by the people of Texas.
So what is all of that over there?
That's actually where water has eroded the Caprock, created these great, magnificent canyons.
Millions of years ago.
Millions of years ago. And pretty much everything you're seeing out there is park.
There's all kinds of things that you can see here at Caprock Canyon State Park that you can't see anywhere else, but one of them is that little guy right there, the Texas horned lizard, the Horny Toad.
Hey y'all, we only locked about another 5 miles. Y'all ready? Let's go!
Just a few miles outside the park, a group of cyclists pedals along an abandoned railroad line. It's part of the Texas Rails to Trails program, where they ripped up the tracks and put down bike paths instead. And even though this leg isn't actually inside Caprock Canyon State Park, Donald is in charge of it too, because he's the closest park ranger out here.
It stretches all the way from Esteline all the way up to the top of the Caprock to South Plains. It's almost 65 miles long. It's a wonderful experience. Start up at South Plains, your elevation is about 3,300 feet, and you ride downhill. Now it's not much of a downhill, but it's downhill all the way down to Quitaque, which is about a 17-mile trip, and it's gorgeous views of canyons, passing through the Clarity Tunnel.
And once you ride over the bridges, down the escarpment, and through a 700-foot train tunnel, you'll end up just down the road from Caprock Canyons and its bison herd. And it's in this remote West Texas park where Donald's conservation efforts are just beginning. He plans to promote our natural history, moving understanding forward while moving the landscape back.
We're changing, but we're changing back.
What do you want this to become?
I want it to be a classroom, a classic example of the Southern Plains. We're trying to take this whole park back to prior to European settlement, what it would have looked like. We're trying to get rid of some of our invasive plants and mesquites and turn it back into a prairie and let the animals free range. It's evolved from just being a bison project to now it's a Caprock Canyons habitat restoration project. We should care because it is our history. You always need to know where you came from. And that's kind of what I want to see happen here. Where did we come from? How did we get from there to here?
We love to have you all hop in and travel with us, so hit the subscribe button to see more.